It's been nearly 2 decades since The Walking Dead first hit television. And now in season 3 of this spin-off, The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, the show continues to follow Daryl's journey through the apocalypse.
For over a decade, The Walking Dead was more than just a zombie show. It became a cultural phenomenon. Premiering in 2010, the series reshaped survival drama by blending horror with emotional storytelling and deeply human characters fighting to hold on to hope in a broken world. But like any long-running series, the show constantly evolved. Storylines grew darker, characters changed, and behind the scenes, actors made difficult choices about their futures. Today, let's take a closer look at the real reasons some of these cast members left The Walking Dead. Jon Bernthal. Jon Bernthal delivered a powerful performance as Shane Walsh, Rick Grimes' former partner and one of the show's earliest complex characters. Shane began as a protective leader who believed survival required hard, sometimes ruthless decisions. As tensions grew between him and Rick, his character slowly unraveled, revealing fear, jealousy, and desperation. Bernthal's intense portrayal helped establish the moral conflicts that defined The Walking Dead's early seasons. Shane's departure in Season 2 was always part of the planned storyline. His rivalry with Rick was designed to reach a tragic conclusion that would shape Rick's leadership moving forward. Rather than leaving due to creative differences, Bernthal completed the character's intended arc. After the show, he continued building a successful career in film and television, often playing strong, emotionally driven characters. If you think this story explains why these actors left The Walking Dead, just wait until the next one. Sonequa Martin Green. Sonequa Martin Green joined The Walking Dead as Sasha Williams, a determined survivor who quickly proved her strength and resilience. Sasha, who first appeared with her brother Tyrese, developed into a dependable fighter and expert marksman for the group. The character experienced various significant personal losses, which tested her ability to handle emotional challenges, but she never stopped fighting to safeguard other people. Martin Green used her acting skills to show Sasha's two sides, both her weak and brave nature, which made Sasha a striking character in the show's middle seasons. The 7th season ended with her exit because Martin Green got selected to be the main character in Star Trek Discovery. The writers constructed a heroic conclusion for Sasha when they learned about her upcoming major opportunity. Her final sacrifice became one of the show's most meaningful moments, which allowed the character to exit with determination while enabling the actress to begin her next stage of work. Josh McDermott. Josh McDermott brought humor and intelligence to The Walking Dead through his portrayal of Eugene Porter. Introduced as a socially awkward scientist who claimed to know the cure for the zombie outbreak, Eugene initially struggled to earn the group's trust. Over time, however, the character evolved into a brave and resourceful survivor who proved his value through problem-solving and loyalty. McDermott's performance balanced comedy with emotional growth, making Eugene's transformation one of the show's most satisfying arcs. Unlike many dramatic exits in the series, McDermott did not leave because of conflict or storyline removal. Eugene remained part of the story until the show's final season, where his character's journey reached a natural conclusion. After the series ended, McDermott continued pursuing acting and comedy projects. Christian Serratos. The character Rosita Espinosa, who Christian Serratos played in The Walking Dead, depicted a strong and skilled actress who became vital to her group. Rosita displayed her best traits when she used her strength and determination to overcome perilous challenges. Over the seasons, audiences watched her grow from a tough fighter into a protective mother and loyal friend. Serratos performed the character with both intense emotions and delicate moments, which made Rosita's development seem authentic. The Walking Dead story continued to feature Rosita until its last season, which showed that Serratos stayed with the show longer than most of her fellow actors. The series reached its conclusion when the show ended because this provided a satisfying end for her character's development. During her time on the show, Serratos also expanded her career by taking on major roles in other television projects, balancing new opportunities while continuing Rosita's story. Lenny James. Lenny James introduced audiences to Morgan Jones in the very first episode of The Walking Dead. Morgan served as Rick Grimes' first companion, who showed both the optimism and emotional burden that came from surviving the end of the world. The character showed his battle with grief through his lonely existence, which made it hard for him to remain human. James delivered a deeply emotional performance, showing Morgan's transformation from a broken survivor into a man searching for peace and purpose in a violent world. James used his role as Morgan to move into the companion series Fear the Walking Dead, instead of fully departing from the franchise. This move allowed the character to continue evolving while connecting the two shows within the same universe. Morgan became a central figure in the spin-off, leading new groups of survivors and exploring themes of redemption. Emily Kinney. Emily Kinney played the role of Beth Green, who displayed her character's gentle nature and hopeful personality throughout The Walking Dead. The character began as Herschel Green's youngest daughter, who transformed from an isolated farm girl into a determined woman who used music to find peace while making friendships with fellow survivors. Through her performance, Kinney created a warm character who experienced deep emotional development throughout Beth's silent story. The story reached its most important moment when Beth left the show in Season 5. The show used her unexpected death to demonstrate its ability to shock viewers and its characters. The writers chose this path because it served their storytelling needs instead of fulfilling their personal desires. Kinney pursued acting after her departure from the show while also dedicating herself to her music career. Michael Cudlitz. Michael Cudlitz began his role in The Walking Dead as Abraham Ford, who portrayed a fearless soldier with strong personality traits and memorable dialogue. The survivor group identified Abraham as a reliable fighter who had natural leadership abilities after he first appeared with Eugene and Rosita. The character displayed his strong self-assurance because he possessed hidden emotional wounds that resulted from his lost world. Cudlitz used his comedic and serious abilities to create an Abraham character who showed both powerful and weak aspects throughout his show appearances. The original comic series developed a major storyline that led to Abraham's exit from the show during Season 7. Negan's first appearance in the show gained emotional weight because of his unexpected death, which started a violent sequence. The actor did not make his choice because the decision belonged to the planned story direction. Cudlitz maintained his relationship with television after his departure by directing episodes for The Walking Dead and other television shows. Alana Masterson. Alana Masterson played Tara Chandler, a character who developed from an unfamiliar outsider into a dedicated and caring survivor throughout The Walking Dead. Tara first appeared as a member of the Governor's Group, but later discovered her new mission through her association with Rick's community. Her dependable friendship and fighting abilities developed from her three main qualities, which included her ability to make jokes, her dedication to telling the truth, and her strong dedication to ethical principles. Masterson developed Tara into a character who became essential to the show's main cast through her authentic and warm performance, which she maintained throughout multiple seasons. The show executed Tara's departure through the Whisperer storyline, which introduced higher stakes by eliminating several core characters from the show. Through her death, the writers intended to demonstrate the threats that the new antagonists brought into the story. Masterson finished her character development according to the established plan without making any personal or career-related departures from the project. After the show, she maintained her commitment to both her acting career and her responsibilities as a mother. Carrie Payton. The Walking Dead received from Carrie Payton his charismatic performance as King Ezekiel, who led the kingdom with self-assuredness. The survivor community recognized Ezekiel as different because of his unique way of speaking and his steadfast belief in the power of hope and community. The royal character maintained a regal appearance, but he fought against his personal struggles with loss, duty, and self-doubt. The character of Ezekiel developed into one of the show's most motivating leaders because Payton performed his role through a blend of comic relief and deep human emotions and showable human flaws. Ezekiel continued to appear in the story until the series reached its last season, unlike most characters who exited the show before that time. Payton did not leave due to creative differences or outside commitments. The series concluded when the character of his character reached its complete logical end. Afterward, Payton continued his career through television and voice acting work. Kaylee Fleming. Kaylee Fleming took on the role of Judith Grimes in later seasons of The Walking Dead, bringing new life to a character who symbolized hope for the future. Judith, the daughter of Rick Grimes, grew up in the apocalypse and showed her exceptional bravery, together with her strong, compassionate nature and her advanced wisdom, which matched her age. Fleming's performance created a strong emotional link between audiences and earlier show characters through his depiction of Judith, who demonstrated both childlike innocence and the power of survival. Judith did not leave the story due to a character death or creative conflict. The Walking Dead came to an end after its 11th season, which served as the natural conclusion for Fleming's time on the series. The show provided Fleming with acting opportunities, which she continued to pursue after her work with other main cast members. Her role as Judith helped carry Rick Grimes's legacy forward, which represented hope for future civilization rebuilding efforts. Chandler Riggs. Chandler Riggs grew up on screen as Carl Grimes, one of the most important characters in The Walking Dead. The character developed from his first appearance as Rick's young son into a brave adult who showed his ability to survive dangerous situations. The audience followed his character development through multiple seasons as he experienced the painful reality of losing loved ones and discovered how to lead others and show compassion. Riggs delivered a performance which demonstrated how dangerous environments exact emotional tolls on children, making Carl an essential component of the series' emotional core. Many fans experienced shock when Carl left in Season 8 because the character holds significant importance within the original comic plot. The creative team behind the show chose to use Carl's death because they wanted his death to drive Rick's ultimate decisions, which would shape his quest for peace. After Riggs departed from the show, he pursued both acting and music production work. Brighton Charbino. Brighton Charbino portrayed Lizzie Samuels, one of the most unsettling and memorable young characters in The Walking Dead. Lizzie appeared first during the prison storyline because she could not distinguish between living people and undead creatures. The group experienced conflict because she believed walkers remained human beings, which showed how the apocalypse affected children's minds. Charbino performed the role of Lizzie with both innocence and instability, which made her character arc emotionally intense, yet disturbing for viewers. The writers of Season 4 used Lizzie's exit from the show to develop a major story arc for the show. The tragic death of her character demonstrated to the audience which difficult decisions survivors needed to make for their own safety. The storyline became one of the series' most talked about moments. Charbino continued her acting career after departing from the show by working in both television and film projects that featured different types of characters, which extended beyond her previous work in horror dramas. Ryan Hurst. Ryan Hurst joined The Walking Dead as Beta, the intimidating second-in-command of the Whisperers. Hidden behind a mask made from walker skin, Beta was a quiet but terrifying presence who followed Alpha with absolute loyalty. Hurst's physical performance and deep, commanding voice helped make the character feel larger than life. As the Whisperer storyline unfolded, glimpses of Beta's past revealed a broken man struggling with identity and loss, adding emotional depth to the villain. Beta's departure came during the conclusion of the Whisperer War, when his character met his end in battle. The storyline had always been designed with a clear beginning and conclusion for the Whisperer's leadership. Hurst's time on the show was part of this planned arc, rather than a personal decision to leave. Afterward, he continued acting in television and film projects. Long before joining The Walking Dead, Hurst was widely recognized for his role as Opie Winston in the television drama Sons of Anarchy, where he earned praise for portraying another emotionally complex character. His experience playing intense, layered roles helped him bring authenticity to Beta's quiet menace. Hurst has also been involved in music and storytelling projects, often drawn to characters who explore identity, loyalty, and survival in challenging worlds. Andrew Lincoln. Andrew Lincoln defined The Walking Dead from its very first episode, portraying Rick Grimes as both a determined leader and a deeply human survivor. He worked as the emotional center of the show for almost 10 years because he showed viewers the feelings of loss and hope, together with complex ethical dilemmas. The production staff faced increasing difficulties because the actor needed to travel from his English home to Georgia, which became more challenging each year of shooting. Lincoln decided to leave the show after Season 9 because he wanted to spend more time with his family and observe his children's development. The writers made an emotional yet respectful decision to keep Rick alive through the story, which they developed as an ongoing narrative. The character received a hopeful, unfinished journey that extended beyond the main series because the writers created possibilities for future character returns. Fans continued hoping to see Rick reunite with his family and reclaim leadership in the post-apocalyptic world. Before The Walking Dead, Lincoln had already built a successful career in British television and film, appearing in popular dramas and romantic comedies that showcased his versatility as an actor. Despite the global fame Rick Grimes brought him, Lincoln often described himself as a theater-trained performer who valued character-driven storytelling. He remained closely connected with the cast and crew throughout the series and later expressed gratitude for the role, calling Rick's journey one of the most meaningful experiences of his career. We're not done yet. Why these actors left The Walking Dead gets even more interesting. Melissa McBride. Melissa McBride established Carol Pelletier as one of the most outstanding character transformations that occurred throughout The Walking Dead. The series started with Carol showing her personality as a silent and weak survivor who faced difficulties from her traumatic experiences and her emotional distress. She became one of the most essential and intricate characters in the series because she developed into a character who protected others through her choice of dangerous paths. McBride used her acting skills to develop Carol from a minor role into a character who became popular with viewers because her emotional complexity matched the violent world of the apocalypse. The departure of Melissa McBride from the show occurred because she wished to leave rather than face any creative disagreements or dissatisfaction with her character. The situation developed because production staff members decided to make filming adjustments for upcoming spin-off shows. McBride decided against participating in the international production because the series required her to travel extensively while working outside the country. Her personal preferences led her to choose between her personal life and her responsibilities to the franchise. McBride was originally part of the show's casting team before being encouraged to audition for Carol, making her journey with the series especially unique. Over the years, she became known for collaborating closely with writers to explore Carol's emotional struggles and moral dilemmas. McBride has often spoken about how meaningful it was to portray a character who survived trauma and continually reinvented herself, making Carol one of the most layered and enduring characters in the show's history. Norman Reedus. Norman Reedus became one of The Walking Dead's most recognizable faces through his portrayal of Daryl Dixon, a character who did not exist in the original comics but quickly became central to the story. Introduced as a quiet, rough survivalist with a crossbow, Daryl gradually revealed compassion, loyalty, and emotional depth. Reedus helped shape the character's evolution, turning him into a symbol of resilience and found family. Audiences connected deeply with his quiet strength throughout the series. Reedus stayed with the franchise through his role in Daryl until the show ended, and he started to work on different projects. Daryl became the story's primary emotional connection after various longtime actors ended their roles. Daryl's role in the spin-off allowed Reedus to expand his character beyond the boundaries of the original show, which first established his identity. His decision reflected loyalty to fans while exploring new storytelling possibilities within the expanding universe. Reedus established his career outside The Walking Dead through his work in movies and his modeling and hosting activities. He created and starred in the travel series Ride with Norman Reedus, which follows his motorcycle culture exploration through different countries with celebrity guests. The show reflects his real-life passion for motorcycles and adventure, giving fans a glimpse of his personality beyond the survival drama that made him famous. Danai Gurira. Danai Gurira brought strength and mystery to The Walking Dead through her role as Michonne, which also showcased her emotional depth. The character Michonne entered the series as a silent warrior who wielded a katana, but she quickly became one of the show's most recognizable characters. The audience watched her character's evolution from a self-protecting survivor to a dependable leader who transformed into a maternal figure. Gurira used her strong acting skills to establish the character's resilience through his vulnerable and compassionate nature. Gurira left the series during Season 10 as her career expanded beyond television. Her work as a playwright and activist, combined with her major roles in worldwide films such as Black Panther and Avengers, made it challenging for her to manage multiple artistic obligations. The character's departure enabled Michonne's narrative to progress beyond the main series while maintaining potential for upcoming appearances. Beyond acting, Gurira has continued to use her platform to support global storytelling and representation in the arts. She has been actively involved in developing projects that highlight African history and culture, both on stage and on screen. Gurira has also worked with international organizations focused on education and women's empowerment, showing how her influence extends far beyond entertainment. Her creative work and advocacy have made her one of the most respected voices to emerge from the Walking Dead cast. Steven Yeun. Steven Yeun's portrayal of Glenn Rhee made him one of the most beloved characters in The Walking Dead. Introduced as a quick-thinking former pizza delivery driver, Glenn grew into a brave and compassionate leader who never lost his humanity. His relationship with Maggie became one of the emotional anchors of the series, giving audiences hope in an otherwise bleak world. Yoon's performance captured Glenn's courage, humor, and optimism, making his journey unforgettable for fans. The main plot that Glenn followed during Season 7 led to his exit from the show, which followed the original comic storyline. The show was scheduled as a planned event to demonstrate its harsh realities and the emotional connection between characters. Yoon achieved professional success after his departure from the show when he received critical recognition for his work in both movies and television shows. Yoon selected projects after his show work that challenged him to display his complete acting abilities through various different performances. He worked on independent films and voice acting projects and acclaimed television dramas, which helped him break free from the survival hero role that Glenn portrayed. Yoon credits The Walking Dead with creating new opportunities for him in Hollywood, while he shows interest in storytelling that explores various cultural and identity and perspective aspects that exist beyond apocalyptic narratives. Sarah Wayne Callies. Sarah Wayne Callies portrayed the character of Lori Grimes, who served as one of the main characters throughout the initial seasons of The Walking Dead. Lori, who served as Rick's wife and Carl's mother, embodied the fight to keep their family together while they dealt with the collapse of their society. The group faced survival challenges because of her complex relationship with Rick and Shane, which created emotional tension between the two characters. Callies used her performance to show Lori's inner vulnerabilities, which helped viewers understand her tough decisions during times of uncertainty. The writers planned Lori's exit from the show from the beginning of their story development process. The series reached one of its most powerful emotional moments through her childbirth death, which caused big changes in Rick and Carl's character development. The choice originated from storytelling requirements that needed to be fulfilled more than it originated from any personal disputes between the two parties. Callies pursued acting in television shows after her departure from the series, while she assumed main character positions in various other dramatic television programs. Behind the scenes, Callies has spoken about how emotionally demanding Lori's storyline was, particularly during the later seasons when the character faced constant moral pressure. She worked closely with the writers to ensure Lori was portrayed as a realistic parent, making imperfect choices under extreme circumstances. Callies has also expressed pride in how Lori sparked strong reactions from audiences, noting that the debate surrounding the character reflected how deeply viewers were invested in the show's emotional stakes. Samantha Morton. Samantha Morton brought chilling intensity to The Walking Dead as Alpha, the ruthless leader of the Whisperers. With her shaved head, calm voice, and terrifying philosophy about survival, Alpha became one of the series' most unforgettable villains. Morton's performance made the character feel both frightening and deeply human, revealing a twisted belief system shaped by trauma and control. Her complicated relationship with her daughter Lydia added emotional complexity to the storyline. The main battle between the Whisperers reached its highest point when Alpha left because her death created a crucial moment for the remaining characters. The role was always intended to serve as a powerful but temporary antagonist within the story. Morton appeared on the show because the producers had created a specific character development plan that required her to appear in multiple episodes. After leaving, she continued her acclaimed career in film and television. Morton dedicated herself to the role by transforming her body through the physical process of head shaving, which allowed her to completely become Alpha. She worked together with the production team to create Alpha's disturbing character through her development of subtle facial expressions and her handling of soft-spoken dialogue without using extreme vocal expressions. The character design used this method to create unpredictable behavior, which showed psychological depth and which stayed with viewers even after the Whisperer storyline ended. Tom Paine. The Walking Dead character Paul Jesus Rovia, who served as a skilled fighter and a loyal hilltop fighter, was played by Tom Paine. Jesus became a favorite among viewers because he showed martial arts skills and maintained a peaceful attitude while upholding his ethical values. Through his performance, Paine created an attractive character who gained particular recognition during fight scenes. Jesus developed into a significant character who united various survivor groups through his leadership abilities throughout the story. The Whisperer plot development began when Jesus left the show during Season 9. Payne later shared that he felt the character's abilities and importance from the comics were not fully explored in the television adaptation. The decision to write Jesus out allowed the story to shift toward new conflicts. Payne pursued an acting career after leaving the series, which included his main role in the Prodigal Son drama series. Before joining The Walking Dead, Payne had already built a strong television career in the United Kingdom, appearing in historical dramas and literary adaptations. After leaving the series, he also became more involved in voice acting, independent film projects, and creative storytelling work behind the scenes. Payne has spoken about appreciating the global fan support he received from playing Jesus, noting that the role introduced him to audiences around the world and remains one of the most recognizable characters of his career. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan joined The Walking Dead as Negan Smith, one of the most unforgettable villains in the series. Armed with his barbed wire baseball bat, Lucille, and a commanding presence, Negan's introduction changed the tone of the show instantly. Morgan brought charisma, humor, and menace to the character, making Negan both terrifying and strangely compelling. Over time, the role evolved beyond a simple antagonist, allowing audiences to see layers of regret, survival, and redemption beneath his brutal leadership. Morgan stayed with the franchise because he worked on the original series until its conclusion. The character of Negan developed into an anti-hero through his ongoing journey, which extended beyond his original story arc. Morgan dedicated himself to developing Negan's redemption story, which ultimately brought about new narratives for the Walking Dead universe after the main series finished its run. Morgan dedicated himself to representing the franchise through his work as an actor, while he showed particular interest in studying Negan's internal emotions. The character development team worked together with him to create a transformation that showed how the character evolved from being an uncompromising leader to becoming a supportive friend. Through his extended involvement with the project, Morgan kept Negan active in future storylines, which let viewers witness the character's evolution through his experiences of guilt and survival, and his growing sense of obligation from his first appearance onward. And finally, let's talk about the last actress on our list. The real reason she left might surprise you. Lauren Cohan. Lauren Cohan portrayed Maggie Rhee as one of the strongest leaders to emerge in The Walking Dead. Maggie transformed from a farm girl who lived with her family into an expert fighter who survived the apocalypse. She reached her ultimate evolution as a fighter and partner to Glenn, and a leader who made crucial decisions for their community. Cohan's performance showed Maggie's ability to handle emotional challenges after she lost everything, and her life purpose was changed. Cohan left the show because she wanted to negotiate her contract and pursue fresh acting roles that emerged during her 9th season of the show. After that, she started her career in the television series Whiskey Cavalier, which allowed her to take on different characters outside her existing franchise work. She returned to the Walking Dead universe after the series ended to resume her role as Maggie while she built her leadership abilities. Cohan returned to the franchise to establish herself as the main character who develops Maggie's storyline through her appearances in multiple shows. She later starred alongside Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the spin-off The Walking Dead, Dead City, which explored Maggie's complicated alliance with Negan while searching for her kidnapped son. Cohan used the project to show a more aggressive and tactical side of Maggie through her character development, which demonstrated how survival skills affected her ability to lead and trust others. And that's the real story behind why these Walking Dead actors left the series. From planned character arcs to personal decisions and new opportunities, every departure helped shape the show we followed for over a decade. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next upload. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.